After uttering that cryptic statement, Gao Changkong ended the call, but Zhang Yi's pupils constricted sharply, and chills ran down his spine. For some reason he keenly sensed that something big must have happened. His left hand gripped Phoenix Inyujin's head, frantically absorbing his primal power. As expected of a captain-level being, Phoenix Inyujin's primal power was incredibly abundant, and the feeling of that power surging into his body made Zhang Yi feel incredibly comfortable. Even his nearly collapsing spatial dimension was rapidly repairing itself, and perhaps because of absorbing Phoenix Inyujin's primal power, the supernatural toxins of karmic fire he had left in the alternate dimension began to slowly dissipate. Zhang Yi did not have time to be overjoyed, feeling as if he had grasped something like finding a thread in a tangled ball of yarn. Gao Changkong's tone had been too strange, not sounding like something a shrewd, worldly person would say, and judging from his past behavior he would definitely have congratulated Zhang Yi properly rather than being so perfunctory. When someone's personality suddenly changes drastically, Zhang Yi reasoned, it is either because they experienced a major life blow, or because they have torn off their long-standing disguise and revealed their true colors. Zhang Yi suddenly looked up, his pupils slightly contracting in the icy white light. He concluded that Gao Changkong had torn off his disguise, but what exactly did Gao Changkong want? To kill him? Zhang Yi frowned, not believing Gao Changkong would do that, as it would be meaningless. Even if Gao killed Zhang Yi, the credit would not belong to him, and he would completely sever ties with the Jiangnan region. Unable to figure out what was wrong with Gao Changkong, Zhang Yi grew even more suspicious that the eclipse moon incident was connected to him, and he chose to contact Blizzard City immediately to tell Zhu Zheng the news, warning that Gao Changkong did not seem right and might be connected to Eclipse Moon, urging an investigation. Zhu Zheng frowned but agreed that they would definitely investigate this matter thoroughly, since it was already confirmed that someone within Blizzard City was conspiring with Eclipse Moon, though exactly who remained uncertain. Just then, Yang Xinxin rode Huahua to Zhang Yi's side and tilted her head, hesitantly asking if it was possible that something was wrong. Zhang Yi asked what she had guessed, and she slowly laid out her reasoning. Zhang Yi was in Tianhai City, Tu Yunlai was leading the Yin Guard in Huazhou City, and the reincarnation team had gone to Linhai City, meaning Blizzard City's defenses were currently the weakest. Could something happen inside Blizzard City, and could it be related to the reincarnation team? Zhang Yi and Zhu Zheng's call had not ended, and Zhu Zheng heard these words clearly, but he dismissed them, saying the reincarnation team was still over Tianhai City and could not possibly have such thoughts, and that Blizzard City was a formidable fortress where any problem would be easily resolved. But before Zhu Zheng could finish speaking, a violent explosion rang out during the call, making Zhang Yi's eardrums ache, and his communication with Zhu Zheng was severed. Gao Changkong spoke to the members of the reincarnation squad while loading bullets into his gun, musing about why those big shots could always be so high and mighty, deciding the life and death of others. He realized the answer was power, for power was the supreme thing, and money, fame, and wealth were worthless in the face of it. He recalled how in the past he had fought hard in the basketball world for many years, achieving considerable success and winning countless honors, and people called him a hero. Yet even a hero like him, after the apocalypse, could not even secure a chance for his parents to live in Blizzard City. Gazing at the massive black skyscraper outside, his eyes narrowed slightly. From then on he began to understand what a hero was. A hero was nothing but a fart in the face of power, and justice was something one had to fight for with one's fists. He had thought about climbing the ladder peacefully, gaining status, and then changing this unfair world, but they would not even give him that chance, so now he could only speak to them his own way. The alloy doors in front of them slowly opened, and one by one the members of the reincarnation squad walked out, wearing combat uniforms and standing in front of the command center building. The guards at the door saw them and saluted with smiles, asking if Captain Gao had returned so quickly from a victorious mission, insisting there was no mission he could not complete. Facing the enthusiastic guards, Gao Changkong smiled and walked over. Although they were all heavily armed and fully prepared for battle, no one stopped them, because the reincarnation squad were the heroes of Blizzard City, and who would doubt their guardian angels? But something was definitely off. The reincarnation squad should have been hundreds of kilometers away in Linhai City, so how could they suddenly appear here? A security guard downstairs thought for a moment and reported the news to his superiors. Lan Xinqing was stunned upon receiving the news, and Zhu Zheng stood up in surprise, demanding to know how they had gotten there. Staff had already reviewed surveillance footage from the first floor, confirming all 9 members of the reincarnation squad were present, led by Gao Changkong, with only one person missing. Zhu Zheng suddenly remembered Zhang Yi's warning that the reincarnation squad might have betrayed Blizzard City, and cold sweat poured down Lan Xinqing's forehead as he revealed the missing person was Chen Xiaozhang, whose ability code name was Chameleon, able to perfectly disguise himself as anything. Zhu Zheng gritted his teeth and roared that those who went to Linhai City were all fakes, and the real reincarnation squad had never left Blizzard City from the very beginning. Indeed, they had always been here, and only the Heavenly Dog Squad and the elite Yen Yun troops led by Tu Yunlai had left. Their intentions were now obvious. Zhu Zhang immediately roared orders to not let them up, to activate the building's security system, and to summon all city guards. The entire building's exterior walls were instantly covered with a thick layer of special metal plates, dozens of heavy metal doors separated the corridors and staircases on each floor, and a piercing red alarm sounded. The command center possessed the highest level of defense, and once fully activated, even a high-level superhuman attack would not be able to break through in a short time. The Reincarnation Squad launched a sudden rebellion inside Blizzard City, triggering an immediate high alert throughout the operations command center. Zhu Zhang confronted Gao Changkong over the communication channel, demanding to know if he planned a rebellion, to which Gao responded with a meaningful smile that this was not a rebellion but a revolution. On the first floor, security supervisor Wu Zhenghang emerged from the crowd of hesitant guards and, to everyone's shock, produced a remote control to unlock the security gates and elevator doors for the Reincarnation Squad, revealing himself as an inside agent. Gao thanked him and led his 8 squad members into the elevator while high-ranking personnel watched in disbelief. Xu Zhang refused to evacuate via the emergency helicopters despite Lan Xinxing's urgent pleas, declaring that as commander of the Jiangnan region he would not surrender the command center to a traitor. He ordered all city defense forces to eliminate the rebels, analyzing that although both major forces were deployed elsewhere, Blizzard City still possessed 300,000 garrison troops, numerous powerful superhumans, and experts like his bodyguard Sun Lushuan and secretary Lan Xinxing. The news spread instantly through the armed forces and major organizations, prompting the Yin Yun troops, defense forces, and private armies to rush toward the command center to prevent Zhu Zhang's death, which would collapse Blizzard City's hard-won order. Hundreds of kilometers away in Huazhou City, Tu Yunlai, having just suffered heavy losses dealing with the Extreme Demon's forces, immediately assembled the Yen Yun Guard and boarded helicopters for the 1 to 2 hour return flight to suppress the rebellion. In Tianhai City, Zhang Yi muttered that he had guessed this would happen, unsurprised by betrayal after witnessing so much human nature since the apocalypse. Having absorbed Phoenix Inyujin's essence, his power had been restored and increased, though he sensed an unbroken limit. The Tengdu squad members were anxious. Bailey Changqing, emaciated and drained from compound number 5, dragged himself to Zhang Yi's side urging a return to Blizzard City. Zhang Yi remained silent, analyzing that Gao Changkong would not act meaninglessly. With the Reincarnation Squad's strength they could kill individuals but not destroy Blizzard City, and even Zhu Zhang's death would not collapse the region given its depth of capable elites. Zhang Yi declared he would not intervene in meaningless conflicts, doubting Gao Changkong's rebellion served any interest beyond personal grudges, and noting Japan would not dare plot against the Jiangnan region given the vast disparity in martial arts strength that could invite annihilation by the Grim Reaper. Yang Xinxin suggested the motive might be personal, that Zhu Zhang had wronged Gao Changkong, and reminded Zhang Yi that his destruction of Eclipse Moon and the Heavenly Dragon pirates already made him a hero of the Jiangnan region, so Blizzard City's internal chaos should be left for them to resolve. Bailey Changqing, coughing violent crimson blood, insisted Zhang Yi could not stand idle. If Zhu Zhang died the entire region would destabilize, and Gao Changkong's collusion with Japanese Ronin was essentially confirmed. Zhang Yi admitted burning hatred for Gao Changkong, whose concealed captain-level strength had nearly caused Zhang Yi's death in the combined Eclipse Moon and Heavenly Dragon pirates' assault, but confessed he lacked confidence to defeat the fully equipped Reincarnation Squad in his current state. Yang Xinxin then directed Zhang Yi's attention to Takeuchi Mayumi, the true core of Eclipse Moon, whose foresight and ability to grant precognition made her potentially higher level than Phoenix Inujin. Yang Xinxin warned that the Desire Angel's control over Mayumi lasted only an hour before her will returned, and with a sickly smile suggested devouring her rather than risking an uncertain future. She fired a black arrow at the weakened Kanuta, who immediately killed himself. Yang Xinxin argued that absorbing their power would allow a return to Blizzard City where Zhu Zhang's survival was most advantageous, and stopping Gao Changkong would provide negotiation leverage. Zhang Yi agreed, instructing the severely injured Liang Yu and Bailey Changqing to absorb the essences of Tsukamoto Nobunaga and Daikoku Kainobu to heal, while he took the better options for himself. He approached the smiling Takeuchi Mayumi, strangled her to death, collected her and Canute's corpses, and began absorption. Inside Blizzard City's 16-story combat command center, Gao Changkong led the Reincarnation Squad upward with calm composure, hands clasped behind his back. Vice Captain Ji Yushin, wielding the Ghost Blade ability that summoned a massive cyan sword from the void capable of slicing armored vehicles, took the vanguard. A Yen Yun Guard major blocked the corridor with hundreds of soldiers in black full-body armor behind riot shields, ordering retreat. Ji Yushin charged like lightning, his greatsword sweeping away bullet storms as if they were plastic, bisecting ally shields and slaughtering dozens of defenders in an instant, painting the corridor with mangled bodies and crimson blood. When laser nets enveloped the squad, Ji Yushin slashed his sword against the wall, the green light slicing through solid barriers like tofu and destroying the laser weapons embedded within. Inside the besieged command center, Zhu Zhang sat motionless in his chair, watching the monitors as squads of defense troops and Yan guards hurled themselves at the reincarnation squad only to be cut down in droves. Gao Changkong had not even lifted a finger, his superhuman subordinates alone had swept every obstacle aside. Lan Xingqing shouted desperately into his communicator, ordering units to hold the line and demanding to know where the reinforcements were, cold sweat pouring down his face as he confronted his own mortality for the first time since the apocalypse began. One after another, the leaders of the various defense units assured him they were almost there. Just as the reinforcements converged on the building, Guman, an emission-type superhuman of the reincarnation squad, raised her right hand and snapped her fingers. A colossal black cube materialized around the entire structure, sealing it completely. Recognizing this as Guman's terrifying barrier ability, the officers outside opened fire with a dense rain of bullets and even explosives, yet the diamond-hard barrier did not so much as tremble. Across Blizzard City, panicked civilians cowered in terror at the sudden gunfire, unable to do anything but hide and pray. Inside, Ji Yushin, armed with Wu Jingheng's defensive terrain map, avoided countless traps and carved straight toward the command center, casually shattering 10 crimson barriers conjured by a lone defender before cutting the despairing superhuman down. Gao Changkong watched the slaughter with a genuine flicker of sorrow, murmuring that killing was never his intention and that he only wanted to take Zhu Zhang's head and restore order to Blizzard City, but that change throughout history has never been achieved without bloodshed. In the command center, the trembling technicians reported that the enemy had reached their floor. Lan Xingqing begged Zhu Zhang to flee, but Zhu Zhang calmly dismissed the idea, pointing out that any helicopter would be shot down by the reincarnation squad and that Guman's barrier had already sealed the building. Sun Luxuan, his veteran bodyguard, stepped forward and asked to be allowed to fight. Zhu Zhang nodded, and Sun Luxuan strode out of the command room, slamming the door shut behind him with a flash of white light. The corridor had become a charnel house, with limbs and torsos scattered everywhere and thick crimson blood staining the walls and ceiling, for the last guard unit had been completely wiped out. Ji Yushin stood soaked in blood with his massive longsword, looking like a demon straight from hell. Gao Changkong greeted Sun Luxuan with a mocking smile, recognizing him as Zhu Zhang's last line of defense. Sun Luxuan coldly accused Gao of betraying the Jiangnan region and the Huashu kingdom, warning that the only consequence was death. Gao retorted that the high and mighty who treated the lives of ordinary people as nothing had no right to represent everyone. As the argument ended, the light behind Sun Luxuan suddenly distorted, utter darkness enveloping everything behind him as 2 plumes of black smoke poured from his sleeves, resolving into countless thin, eerily glowing black threads that heralded the final battle.